So let's talk about the story. Listen, I talked about it a little bit earlier. I hinted at what makes this story thrive, and what makes this story thrive is simple. Oh man, there's so much here. At the end of the day, this story works because it is such a relatable story. Yes, a lot of people watching this film aren't criminals. A lot of people watching this film aren't fathers yet. A lot of these people aren't parents yet watching this film. However, we all innately relate to the spot that Channing Tatum's character is in this moment. And he is a guy who is struggling with his identity and what he wants to do with his life and how he can provide for his family. And that is the moral dilemma of this film. The core of this film is family, and it is so beautifully conveyed through the lens of Derek Cianfrance. And ultimately, the relatability of this film is at an all-time high. It's just like you just completely understand what Jeffrey Manchester is going through and what he's just so easy to root for, despite him being a criminal and despite him ultimately hurting people in the process, whether it's by lying or physically assaulting someone in his last armed robbery. You completely understand where he's coming from. You completely understand where he's coming from, and you are so happy he is somehow redeeming his past life with his new life he is coinciding with as Joe with Lee and her family. He is finally the father figure he's always wanted to be with Lee, and he was never able to do that with his previous family because he got arrested and he fucked up and his cover was blown. So that is really magical here. So many themes to this movie that are just so potent and relatable. It's hard not to immerse yourself and be caught up in the story. Like, listen, I didn't cry at this movie. A lot of people were crying at the end of this movie. There was a lot of sniffling in this crowd. There was a lot of crying. You can hear it. I didn't cry, all right? I think I'm all cried out from seeing Cinema Paradiso in theaters recently, but it is an incredibly emotional story. That's just fundamentally what it is. And like I said, it's conveyed beautifully. And I don't think a lot of filmmakers and a lot of screenplay writers would be able to bring out the potency of the story like Cianfrance and company did here. The story of this film is terrific. It's based on a true story, like I said earlier, and it's such an intriguing story. At the end of the day, Jeffrey Montgomery is a criminal who is so great at noticing things people don't notice typically that he is going through the roofs of McDonald's, Burger Kings, and Blockbusters to get away with all these robberies just to provide for his family. I mean, the extents a man or a woman would do to provide for their family are great lengths.